when a parent shouts, we don't think about it. Because in the moment when we shout, we're doing it because we want them to stop doing something that we think is going to hurt them. They've done something to annoy, and it's just like, don't do that. That 4-year-old, you are their safe haven. They're small, and you are a giant. We don't think about how that outburst goes into them, how they experience it. Yeah, we create trauma in our kids.
I'm struggling with this concept of putting up these barriers to protect, and doing that, we may unintentionally impede the light from getting to the children. So we actually create this cocoon and trying to help them, but we turn the lights off for them.
Exactly. So there is this amazing work done by Thich Nhat Hanh, right? He was a meditation Buddhist monk. And
Okay.
I was in one of his, as I was listening to one of the lectures that he was given, I was thinking about it. Think about this, Matt. Most parents do this in a way to kind of protect their children. But think about the effect. We don't think about the effect of that. I haven't thought about it. I've done this myself. I'm not a saint. We learn from our own failures. We learn from our own kind of, trials, right?
Absolutely.
Think about when you have a 4-year-old or a 6-year-old or an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old. And to a 4-year-old, when a parent shouts, we don't think about it. Because in the moment when we shout, when we reprimand, we're doing it because we want them to stop doing something that we think is going to hurt them, right? Most of the time, most parents, when they shout, they don't shout because they're trying to be mean. They've done
That's right.
something to annoy, and it's just like, don't do that. I'm at the edge, right? So think about it at that moment.
That's right.
That 4-year-old, you are their safe haven. And that safe haven, and you are a giant. They're small, and you are a giant. We don't think about how that outburst goes into them, how they experience it. Imagine if somebody really massive, 2 times your size, who had cared for you this whole time, shouted at you. Yeah, we create trauma in our kids. And by the way, the answer isn't to not do that, right? The answer isn't, oh, don't shout. Because if you withhold the shout, you're creating more hurt for yourself. Suppressing anger, suppressing frustration is not good either. And that's why I say it's about conquering our inner world. It's about working on us, integrating practices that allow us to not experience that in the first place. Again, tying back to what you said to me before, Matt, when we started, even this 1-minute practice, right? When you said, when I'm with my kids and they're acting up, just that 1 minute is creating space for you to be compassionate. Compassion is an energy you're choosing from within versus frustration. So you're not shutting the frustration down. You're not saying, I'm not going to be frustrated. I'm using the power of compassion to say, I want to really understand what's going on. I'm not going to judge, but I'm going to tune into what's happening, just for something else to emerge. And to me, that is the heart of the work. It's inner work we can do to kind of fundamentally become more resilient, to elevate our consciousness, and to just create our life energies and organize our life energies in a way that allow happiness to emerge from within, that allow love to emerge from within, that allow meaning to emerge from within.
Yes. Here's what I just heard you say. I wrote it down. Coach me if this is not accurate or if it needs more. I wrote down, I'm not going to judge. Instead, I'm going to tap into being compassionate in the moment. It's okay to feel the frustration. It's okay to feel the anger because those are natural things. But rather than act on that, I'm going to work to integrate being present with compassion. So the antidote to frustration or anger or whatnot, it's not suppress it. It's learn to convert into compassion.
That is it. And I think that is the heart of so much. I'll give you another story, another teaching. This was also something from Thich Nhat Hanh, and it's changed so much of my relationship with people, my relationship with my wife. So let's do a thought experiment together. Let's assume you have a potted flower in your house, and the flower was beautiful and it was very fragrant. for a long time. But let's assume that, of the last 2, 4 weeks, even like month, you've started to notice the flower isn't as flagrant. It's starting to kind of, shrivel a bit, starting to look limp. Matt, if you looked at that flower, what would you do? What actions would you take?
Well, if I smelled it, it's not as fragrant, it's starting to look limp. I might first see, is it near enough sun? I might try to put some more water on it. I might try to do something that I've been trained to do or think about plants that helps them grow.
You're solving for what does the plant need? Why is the
Yes.
flower not fragrant anymore?
Okay.
Why is the flower not looking at healthy anymore? And then you'll say,
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving nutrients, water, sunlight. I'm going to research, is there something else happening there?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, right? We are at an all-time high rate of divorces. When you fall in love, the person you fall in love with is like a flower. They bring you joy, you love being around them. When that relationship starts to wither, when that person starts to annoy, when there is acrimony in a relationship, what's our first move?
I can tell you what it's not. It's not more sunlight, more nutrients. It's, I don't want to be around that flower. I'm going to go to my man cave.
You have changed. You are doing this, this, and this that is annoying me anymore.
Okay.
Why are you doing that? Right? We never say, hey, what was my role? What have I done to make that person be this way? Why are they acting this way?
Mm.
Why has this changed? So, this notion of frustration and judgment to compassion, it's the same thing. Rather than look at the other for what is wrong with you turn inwards to say, what is wrong with us? What is wrong with me? What am I doing that is actually creating